now we get to talk about setting the core. So there's a lot to this. I'm going to try to keep it really simple. We talked about the victory breath or the Ujjayi breath, and just want to start by saying anytime we're doing this setting the core exercise, we can be engaging this victory breath. So to review that, the tip of the tongue can be on the top of the mouth, like so, and we're using this throat breathing to create a more powerful and intentional breath, that the breath is more regulated. The other thing about this breathing and how we really work it to set the core is that the exhale is an active exhalation. It's not a passive exhalation. So this isn't to say that every single time we're doing manual therapy we are engaging the core or we're doing an active exhalation. However, it's something to keep in mind as you're going through, especially if you're doing something where you're involving more force or more pressure into a person's body, then that's a great time to work on engaging and setting the core. So let's talk about the transversus abdominis, the respiratory diaphragm, and the pelvic floor. So the respiratory diaphragm we know is here. It's like the umbrella. It's the top. Then we have the pelvic floor, which is like a sling on the bottom. These are your urogenital muscles. We haven't really talked about this, but the pelvic floor muscles and engaging them would be like doing a Kegel exercise. Another way to imagine this is pulling up on the muscles if you wanted to stop yourself from urinating in midstream. So for some of us, we may have never actively engaged these muscles. So imagine you got to pee really bad and you're 20 miles from a rest stop and you're pulling up on those muscles, right? That's it. So if you're not sure about that, you could even try going to the bathroom and stopping yourself from urinating in midstream. And when you do that, those are the pelvic floor muscles. So we have the respiratory diaphragm, the pelvic floor muscles, and then in between the deepest layer, so you have your rectus abdominis, you have your external oblique, you have your internal oblique, and then inside of that is your transversus abdominis. The transversus abdominis really goes all the way around from the front on the sides and then connects into the thoracico-lumbar fascia of the lower back. So I'm going to hold it like this. So the transversus abdominis is like a 360-degree wraparound sheet of muscle, and when we exhale, we can take that and we can create sort of a gentle contraction of that muscle towards like the inner core, or kind of towards the spine, but it would really be more in the middle of the core. So let's try that for a moment. So we'll take a breath in and breathe out, and we're creating tone. We should feel some tone in this whole area, including the back. And then as we inhale, relax it a little more. We don't necessarily have to engage it on the inhale, but we can a little bit if we want. And exhale, engage that again. And now we're going to integrate the pelvic floor with it. So breathe in. With the Ujjayi breath, we're going to exhale and create this tone in the transversus abdominis and then pull up the urogenital muscles, the pelvic floor. So it'll be like this. So with this active exhale, we have tone in the respiratory diaphragm. When we draw up on the pelvic floor, we have tone in the pelvic floor muscles. And when we activate transversus abdominis, we have tone there. So really, this entire area is going to have stability, which is going to help support the lower back. And remember, we talked about the like these muscles on the exterior are like the guy wire support systems that help support the lumbar spine as well. So when we're doing body work, we don't necessarily have to be engaging these every single breath or every single time we're doing things. But let's say we're doing, just putting some force into somebody and we want to go a little deeper. This would be a great time to engage the core, set the shoulder, firm the pelvic floor, and really have good core stability, good shoulder and scapular stability, and it actually really feels a lot better for the person on the receiving end of our body work as well.